Hello there, YouTubers. This is kind of what's going on today. Probably not going to show you doing too much of it. Yesterday it was supposed to rain, and it rained a little bit, but not anywhere near what they said it was going to rain. I was down at Jeffrey's cutting all these steels, so you had to cut this one and that one and this one and that one at both ends to make it the way you want it to. There's an explanation for that, but I ain't getting into that. Those are leftover pieces there. I'm cutting a bunch of 45s because basically, if you were to put these together, this is just an example. Okay, I'm making a table. This will be the piece that goes in between to make it. This has got to be cut off because I want four 16-inch pieces. So I have one here with an angle cut on it. I have this one here with the angle cut on it, and to get two more 16-inch pieces, I had to get this. This is just scrap throwaway that I picked up years ago, and it's probably $450 worth of steel. This little pile of steel here and here is all that is 3/16 by 2 inch. These are 30 inches, I think, and these are 50 inches. Those cost over $200, so I know all this stuff is twice because you got angle iron times. So we're looking at probably $450 worth of this square tubing. So that's kind of what's going on today. That's one thing. Now what I did was I cut it down there and then bring it up here. I have to wire brush it because this is what it looks like after you wire brush it, and this doesn't weld too good, but I didn't feel like doing a whole lot of extra wire brushing, so I cut it to size, and then now I'm going to wire brush it and take it back down to Jeff's someday next week, because while the weather's nice here, I'm going to be doing what I can do outside. These are the plates I made. I showed you guys a long time ago, drilled to hold the wheels on the carts. The only difference is instead of going this way, because originally these were going to be 2x2, but I found this, so it's a lot cheaper, so I got to turn them like that so I can get the bolts into it, so that's no big deal. Anyhow, that's it here. I made a list of trying to figure out what order and whatever stuff to go on to. Next I'm going down to the wood splitter to show you. Somebody asked me why don't I put a chain around those logs when I get them stuck in the wedge, and that's pretty good question, so I figured I'd answer that. So now we're going down to the wood splitting area, new sawmill area, wagon area for more stuff. That wood, because of all the moisture, that hickory that I got in there is still heavy. It has not lost the weight. So even in the greenhouse, as hot as it is, with a fan going all day long on it, it doesn't dry as much as it does when the humidity is low. Oh, here's a garden. We're just driving by. There's the potatoes. There's the squash, zucchini, and tomatoes. I gotta stay on track here. That's where I'm starting to clean up the wood pile. I am going to be working on wood today, whether I put another splitter on or another movie on the splitting wood or sawing. I'm favoring sawing. Somebody asked me what the there's a number 2, what small wooden box 2. I have 6 of these. This is the last one. They're all full. They hold, I think, about 0.35 of a cord. Anyhow, one of the reasons, or probably the biggest reason, that I don't put a chain around, or one of the reasons, is I only have about a 3/16, whatever that is. And when I had wrapped a chain around it once before the thing and pulled it back, and it shears this off. And when you shear that off, it's easy to get it off of the top piece because then the head's free. You can just bang it through. It's easy to get it off the ram because you can just bang that straight through. But the bottom piece, it's hard to get it out of, and it takes a lot of time to get it out of there because it's been in there for who knows how many years. So that's, and think about it, a chain, first of all, you got to have an 18-inch piece of chain because my pieces of wood are cut at 18 inches times 2. So now you're over 3 foot. Then you have to have it, you know, how big around is it? If it's 12 inches here, you got to have it 12 inches there. So now you're at 3, 4, 5. So now if the log is just 12 inches in diameter, which they don't too often get stuck on something that size, then you need at least a 5-foot chain to make something comfortable. And then you got to come back beyond this thing. It wouldn't be hard to weld a link on there, a weld-on hook, and just hook the chain, come around, hook the chain, then pull it right off. And I guess I could on this particular one drill it bigger and put a, you know, a 1/2-inch bolt in there if I wanted to. But you know, this thing's worked for so long that I'm just not really willing to mess with it. That's my cherry wood. Okay, which I got some more cherry wood over there. This is my go in the bonfire wood, but if it doesn't make it in the bonfire, I'll still put that in the boiler. It'll burn. This is my decent oak, and I'll stack it up, and I put stuff in between there. Those dry faster because they're standing upright. All right, that takes care of the chain around the thing. Now we're going to go look at the wagon. You know that I got that big log on the mill where we're going to, but that's not in the order. So we're going from back this way to the front. So that's kind of where I'm getting at. The deer have been bedding down here. I guess there's no deer in here today. This is the big wagon. Okay, these are 20-inch tires. Look at all the deer tracks. Holy cow. These are some big wheels. These are, I think, 1020s, 920s. These are big tires. So what I want to do, I've showed these in the past. I don't have any of them welded on, but for this wagon, because I don't want it as high, I just want to get it up high enough here, and then you got a 4x4 going on the 10, so that's why I'm looking at about what I'm looking at to get on there. But I don't know exactly where to put these and drill those until I get the beams on here, so that's why I haven't sawed them out yet. But that, some of them are, a couple of them are welded on, okay, and 2 of them are welded on, 2 of them are not welded on. So that's where we're at here. That's what that big log that we're about ready to go back and see is meant for. See this big table here? Goes from here up to there. I don't know how long it is. I'm guessing 20 foot. That used to be the fireworks launching pad. So we used to have a heck of a fireworks display. There's wood tucked in there. There's wood tucked in here. That's why I don't saw any more wood. Nobody wants to buy it. I had that listed 2 or 3 times on Craigslist. Nobody's interested in any wood for anything around here. Unless you give it to them give them a whole pile like that for 10 bucks, they might come get it. And at $10, I can turn it into firewood and make more money on it if I wanted to sell firewood. So that's a big reason that I'm not sawing as much. I just got to have a place to get rid of it, guys. My chunks and hunks, I guess you just saw that. I think I showed that in another movie. That's full. There's deer over there. See them? They're all over here. That's why I'm not doing a garden except for in that little area. Back in the early 80s, when I bought this property, deer were not a problem. You didn't have to fence your garden in at all. You could have beans on the ground and they didn't bother it. Now they bother everything. Here's what's next on the list. So what is it? Or what was it? Or what is this? I think that's what's on my list. Let me look at my list. Right here we showed the wagon. Now we're to the wheel shrinker. I thought this was a wheel shrinker a little bit, but then I wasn't convinced that that's what it was. And I'm still not convinced. I have no idea what it is. I think it's something that didn't work good and it was just put away. But I called Hanson Wheels. Very nice people out there. I spoke to them and they said kind of what I was thinking, because these things here are at an angle, they're straight, see? That is for pulling stuff together. And he said it might be a blacksmith upsetter, which I guess that's where they make the metal. So they'd heat the piece of metal, put it in here, and it's make it fat. From what I understand is what it is. So I think it's more that maybe than that. So now I called the Essential Craftsman. Really interesting guy. I'm sure that everybody's been here has probably been there. He had a sawmill too. So I just emailed him and see if he was interested in that, because he's been sending me some stuff on blacksmithing, and see if he's interested. There is no maker's mark on it, so it looks like it might be a blacksmith's upsetter. If you need to find out more about it, you're going to have to go on the internet, because all I know is what they told me. So it might not be a wheel shrinker. They said the wheel shrinkers have angles like the wheels, which I can understand that. All right, I've done that on my list of things to do. Whoops, wrong side. Okay, we're at the wheel shrinker. Now we're going to go to the mill about the rollers. A couple people have asked about the rollers, so I'm going to go over that. Oh, you know, I forgot my chainsaw. The whole purpose of this was to start on that log up there, and I forgot my chainsaw. You know, I forget so much stuff anymore that it's a pain in the butt, really, is what it is. So I guess this won't be as long as I thought it was going to be, but we'll go get the chainsaw on the next movie, and I'll put that on tonight after this one. So this one's going on definitely tonight. It is Friday. It is absolutely gorgeous out today. Humidity dropped after that storm came through. The temperature is reasonable. Good sawing weather. So, oh, I see something on here that I put in there that I missed to show you. So we'll have to show you that. Anyhow, on these rollers, well, what I was going to do is, after I showed you the rollers, I was going to cut this portion of the log off. There's no point in fighting it. I can fight it with a chainsaw a lot easier than I can fight it anyplace else. Like I said, I don't think this log's going to yield anything. You got, it looks like ring shank here. And as I showed in another one, it's double. It's got two hearts in it this end. So to get those 5-inch by 10-inch beams out of it, so you got double heart. If I could take one beam out of it here and one beam out of it here, or one beam out of it here, and then it had a big limb in it here. Oh, this is how I debark. I've been debarking. Of course, now you're in the, see, you can debark it. I'm using one hand instead of two, but you can really debark pretty quick that way. Can't do it with one hand. Oh, I can't turn it over. And that bark makes a heck of a mess. All this is a, I think it's an icebreaker, but oh, I missed. Anyhow, I'm debarking that a little bit. The bark gets in your way. I don't like it. It doesn't have any BTUs when you put it in the boiler. It just makes a lot of ashes. So I'm not really into the bark. If I can get it off, and plus that was dragged around to the woods. That's that log that I pulled over with the winch. And it's good size. We went over the size the other day. The rollers, anyhow, I'm getting carried away. The rollers. Okay, I got this flipped over so it's on this side now, and the taper goes down that side, down that way, so it matches that. What I didn't like was the angle of these, which I guess with this thing here, I can't get the camera in the way I want to show. There's an angle going down this way. Now, a lot of people said, and I thought about it too, they're loose enough and these pins are loose enough that I can knock them out. The reason I'm not going to do that, now if you think about that, if you think about this, if I put the high side here and it's angled, it's going to want to tilt up to make it flat on the log because it weighs so heavy. When it goes up like that, it might just go all the rest of the way over. They did not make that angle. They did not spend the time making that angle on that casting for no reason other than, you know, maybe some of it was a draft situation. I don't know. But they did not make that angle. That was a design thing. Engineers don't design things and make things for no reason. Sometimes you don't always find the reason. Sometimes the reason doesn't make any sense. And sometimes the reason just doesn't pan out. But if I put this on this side, this one is going to want to raise up to level them. And at that point, it might just flip over. So I'm not going to do that. I think there's a left-handed side one and a right-handed side one. Maybe there's not. Maybe these are just supposed to flop over this way if it hits anything. So that's what's going on with the rollers. I'm going to take it off and try to get this log. The next movie I'm going to bring on, which I'll put that one on after this one, is getting that log ready for the saw. I might take one slice off. That's going to be like a mini series. You know, somebody mentioned something like that the other day. It's going to be a mini series because I'm not going to be like Mark and saw this thing up in 15 minutes. This is going to take some time to saw it, and because I want something out of it and it's so ornery, it's going to be a bit of a bear for me to get. Where's that ruler? I had a ruler back here that I used the other day. That goes to 30 inches. Now the bark's off of it pretty much there. So it's 26 inches down here. So it's no little log for a one-man band, but I've tackled like that stuff before, but it just takes a lot of time. So now I'm gonna go show you the steel plates. Now I already lost my list. That's the trouble with making lists. I lose the list as fast as I brought the camera down here, or the tripod, to put you on that while I was starting to get this log ready. Oh, it's in my pocket. I got to show you the steel plates. The steel that's in the back of that truck, making 2 welding benches. That's what it's for. It's basically, I had to buy the angle iron. I didn't have to buy that, but I didn't feel like cleaning up a bunch of it that I had. So it was just easier to buy it. They cut it to length, and you pay for it. So as cheap as I am, there's a point where the time was a lot faster to just have them cut it. Here we are in another parts department. Parts department you guys that haven't seen. Put on the emergency brake. That's the bucket for that loader. That's the cylinder, a backup cylinder for that cylinder that's on my wood splitter that goes on the Bobcat. It's right good size. There's a couple buzz saws, buck saws, bunk saws. There's an old Frick Husk #1. Here's a set of forks that goes on my tractor, but I don't run them anymore. But here's the steel plates right here. Okay, and they're 60 inches by 48 inches or something like that, or 48 inches to here. I'm not sure. They're 1 inch, I think it's 1 inch or 1 1/8 inch road plate. Here's my finger, so you can kind of see how it is. And I was starting to, this has been 25 better years ago, before wood stoves were even a thing. I was making a wood boiler, and that's the pieces that I got. It was road plate. I got a road plate, and I cut it up. And if you see, you can kind of see the angle here. That was the leg, and over there was the same thing. That was the legs, and these were the 2 sides. They weigh about 725 pounds a piece. So I'm reckoning that table, when I'm done, is going to be somewhere around, the 2 tables that are done are somewhere around 1,000 pounds each, is what I'm looking at. There was something else that I was going to show you, but I don't remember what. Air compressors, air compressor heads. Can't get rid of them, got to get rid of them. Anybody know what that is? That's the, this is in backwards. That's a sawdust drag for a Frick Sawmill. There's an old cable off the sawmill, off the #1 sawmill. You can see the size of that. I didn't put that size on there. A couple things. Just junk. I'm always pack ratting anything I can pack rat. Here's some more square tubing. That came out of something else. And I might use that. I got another idea of something I'm making. That was the tank off my Jeep that was a tanker Jeep. This here, when I was working at a high school, a janitor, they threw away the goalposts. Those are aluminum, and there's a bunch of them. Can you see them back there? And it's Schedule 40 aluminum, 4 inch. Might be 5 inch. I'm not sure what it is. We'll look. This is what it is. That's where they cut it off. That's where it held together. They couldn't get rid of it. They had to call a special truck to come in to get it out. I said, I'll take it. And they're right long. And I've used that in several different spots. So that's some stuff. There's some more steel down there. I've been getting it together. This is a bench that came out of the gym that somehow the kids destroyed and bent up. They destroy them. Kids destroy a lot of stuff nowadays and probably not held responsible for it. But anyhow, It's like, what are we going to do with it? And I'll take it. And I've cut sections out of it that are good and used them in different areas. Anyhow, that's about it for this one. I'm going to go get, anybody know, just speaking of guessing things, anybody knows what that is? We'll do a what's it on that. Try to figure out, tell me what that thing is. It's got all sorts of stuff underneath there. It's got a compressor underneath there. Anyhow, that's it for this one. Hit me the like button, the subscribe button, hit the star if you want to see what that is. I know what that one is. We'll go over here. I got to start boxing kindling. Like I said, I got kindling. I got stuff everywhere. So I'm going to be working. I know I'm going to split some wood today, and I know I'm going to get that log up on the mill today. These are some handy little things I made. This was a pegboard hook, and the pegboard's there, and this is just a little lead thing for holding on to tarps. But I was watching Joe up at Ohio, I don't know, he's a real interesting guy to look to. He was talking about making kindling. When you got a sawmill, kindling isn't an issue. See it all in there? So I got to box that stuff up. That you can hear it. That stuff sounds like Lincoln logs. It's dry. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I cut it up. I got another whole pile of it up there. The machine, if you're new here, that machine up under that tan tarp is what cuts these up. So anyhow, that's it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That's kind of a list of what's going on. I'm going to go up and get my chainsaw, and I'm going to get that log on the mill. I will make a video of it, and I will put that on tonight, I hope, if everything goes according to plan. So this one, then that one. And I'll probably video the log splitting, but I don't know when I'll put it in. That'll probably be for a rainy day. So I'm glad you stopped by. Over and out. Bye.